Hey, everybody. I think I turned my volume back on. Yeah. Yeah, so national holidays. Today, well, this weekend is Labor Day weekend here in the US. Labor Day is actually tomorrow, I think. I think Labor Day is on Monday. So it's if not it's celebrated on Monday. I don't even know, but um yeah, so Mason, the national holiday is we don't really have state holidays, I don't think. I don't think we have state holidays. I'm trying to think. If we do, nobody really celebrates them. But yeah, and where I live here in northern Michigan, so if you look at a map of the US and you look at like the Midwest or the it's actually I don't know why it's called the Midwest. It's I think that's from a time long ago. It's actually north and slightly east. You know, Michigan looks like a mitt. Uh I live in the where do I live now? I live the tip of the pinky finger near my band-aid. Anyway, it's a real tourist trap. So anytime there's a holiday and people get time off, they come up here. So anybody who works, especially if it's a tourist related job, and the vast majority of jobs up here are tourist related, yeah, you don't get time off on busy holidays. So it's and we've always lived in a vacation kind of town, a tourist trap, and so my family like we don't necessarily think of holidays as time off. It's more like time to really stink and work extra hours. Uh, oh, hello, Tony's World from Ireland. Hello. Mason ever used to get time off or yeah, I've had like I have it off officially, but it I don't know. Working from home makes any of those kind of holidays difficult. Like a home office is great, but you're always at work, so yeah, that makes it tough. Um in financial tech, lots of holidays. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Long weekend started off cruddy. Why, Dwayne? What did I miss? What happened? And same here. I live by loads of mountains and walks and hikes and outdoor stuff. Always busier in the holidays. Yes. Um. Yeah. Same here. I mean, we live. We have water. You know, we live right on the Little Traverse Bay, and lots of boating stuff, and in the wintertime skiing stuff. So it's a year-round tourist trap. And but I mean, if it weren't, there would be no economy up here. So I'm not complaining really. Lisa Kennedy, yes, another local hiding at home. Yeah, you know what we did? I don't know what we were thinking. We actually we try to do family brunch on Sundays, and like family, my kids are all adults now, but we try to gather together for brunch on Sunday, and it's tough, but we've been doing a good job. And then Donna's schedule, my wife Donna, her schedule's changing, so she's going to be working every Sunday, and so we're not going to be able to do this. So today's like the last time that we could do brunch, and not many people were available. Like my daughter is not feeling well, and my son-in-law is out buying stuff at a shop. So anyway, there were just four and a half of us, if you count my granddaughter, and we went to a restaurant. I don't know what we were thinking. We went to a restaurant thinking, oh, it'll be special for the last family brunch, and it was so busy and so chaotic. Oh, it was something. Oh, Jimmy Buffett. Oh, that's right. I forgot Jimmy. Yeah, I heard Jimmy Buffett died. Yeah, because so the way I heard about it is there's it's a strange story, but I mean, what else would you expect from me, right? Um, there is a new shop in town called Malted Vinyl, and I think it's like a bar, but they also have vinyl records everywhere, like albums. And I don't know, and it's not just decoration; they like play them. I don't know if it's like a jukebox or what, but anyway, the guy was looking for some Jimmy Buffett vinyl, and like went to the bookstore. They sell vinyls, and they didn't have any Jimmy Buffett, and so like there was this like calling tree that took place, and finally one of the friends of a friend who's a DJ contacted his DJ friend and like had a Jimmy Buffett album, and so they sold it to the place so they could play Jimmy Buffett songs today. Anyway, yeah, that wasn't a great story, but it was a funny thing that happened. Uh, who's Jimmy Buffett? Yeah, Jimmy Buffett is a you would Margaritaville, right? That's Jimmy Buffett, right? Yeah. Um. Anyway, yeah, that is sad. Uh, what else? That's it. So thanks for tuning in to the live stream. Oh, it's supposed to get hot again. Uh, it's supposed to get hot again. And I found out today why it's going to get hot again today, and it's because Carson, if you're watching, he took his air conditioner out because he thought that we were done with the hot weather, and so he took out his air conditioner, and that is why we're getting a heat wave here in northern Michigan this week. It's going to be in the 90s, I think, Celsius. No, not Celsius, Fahrenheit. So anyway, yeah, it's been pretty cool the last couple of weeks, but now yeah. So Dwayne, for the record, Mason lives across the big pond, so I doubt that that there's like they're indoctrinated with Jimmy Buffett stuff. I mean, yeah, sure. Everybody around the world knows musical artists, but still. Bum, bum, bum. I would play a Jimmy Buffett song, but I think that would be like a copyright no-no or something. So I won't, and I'm not going to sing one because that would be a crime against humanity. I did it's been a crazy week. Obviously, I didn't record any Linux Plus videos, but I did finally turn on the other camera. So the only reason I'm going to show you is because I'm like, sometimes I'm thinking, oh, is this camera really that good? What do I think about this camera? Yeah, it's a pretty nice camera because I put my other DSLR camera back up, and check this out. It is not great. It's how do I, oh, can I, there. It's yeah, it's like washed out, and this is after I tried to adjust it and stuff, and it just doesn't look great. So yeah, I guess I'm happy with my Sony. It just has better color and stuff. Although I do have a different microphone over there. Oh, you want to test with me? Here, y'all can test with me. I'm going to have to do some crazy muting, though, because I don't want to get weird double sound going on. So, all right. Boom. Boom. All right. Is it working now? I think it's working. So how does this microphone sound compared to the other microphone? Do you like my voice better with this microphone or this microphone? I think I tried them before, and I like this microphone. This is this microphone right now. The other one is the standard microphone that a lot of podcasters use, the SM7B. Oh, I didn't check levels, so maybe the level is different. There. Okay. I mean, this level looks about right. So I don't know which is better. I'm probably going to stick with the other one, but this is connected to the other computer, and so it probably doesn't match my lips exactly. Let us see. I can hear you. It's loud. The second one is better. The silver one. Oh, okay. So better than. So this is not the better of the two. This is again the Shure SM7B, and I have to have a cloud lifter. I actually don't have a cloud lifter. It's a FET head, so it might be too hot. I could always maybe it's too hot. Is that better? Is it better if it's a little lower? I don't know. It looks like I was peeking in some of the red area, but nonetheless, this is what a lot of people use. Like if you're familiar with, gosh, who uses this mic? I mean, you've seen this mic everywhere, right? Colin and Samir on YouTube. Joe Rogan, I call this the Joe Rogan mic sometimes. Anyway, this is the SM7B. And over here, this is the RE20. I think this one's probably a little less boomy, if that makes sense. But yeah. Oh, what did the black one get better when I pulled it away from my face a little bit? It might have been because I have the preamp on it. It might have been a little too hot. Okay, it's too hot. You like the SM7B better? That's interesting. That's interesting. I like this microphone because I don't know. I just recorded myself and I really liked the way it sounded better. So we'll have to see. The other mic is a lot better. So yeah. It has more. It definitely has more bass. Hello. Lewis, hello. The SE20 is more natural. Still had your voice deep end. Okay, that could be. I guess this might be the what I really sound like. Oh, the RE20 is more natural. Okay, so that is what I thought you were talking about anyway. So okay, RE20. I'll use this for a while. Then I'll switch to the other one and see what. I mean, I can just use this one for a while and see what we think. It doesn't look like I'm peaking or anything, and I'm using a different camera computer, so if my lips aren't exactly lined up, that's probably why. But anyway, I'm sure it's the sure. All right, cool. So let's see what's going on upcoming. It's Labor Day tomorrow, but I'm still gonna be working. Donna has tomorrow off. Her schedule starts changing. I think I told you guys this last year. The silver mic is a lot softer. I have to record them again and just get a feel for which is which. And I don't know why I chose the other one. I liked the other one when I got them both. I got them both at the same time, trying to decide which one to get. And I liked the look of the other one. It looks older. I think it is definitely an older style mic, but for some reason I liked the way my voice sounded on it. But nonetheless, I'll switch back. I have to get closer because it doesn't have a boom arm, so I have to lean over. So I'm going to switch back. And now you hear both, and it's weird. All right, back to the standard. I can shut my video right off there too. All right, thanks for playing. Thanks for playing with me. Maybe I'll listen to the video afterwards and see what I think too. So yeah, my wife's schedule is changing. It's going from, she normally has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. Is that right? No, she normally has Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. She normally has, oh, cool. Okay. This, yeah, I don't know. And I'm sure the other mic is would be perfectly fine. Again, it's super popular. It's a spendy mic. And I haven't leveled it out or EQ'd it or anything like that. But I like this mic anyway. And it has the boom. I can move it around. But anyway, she used to have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off and then work 4/10s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But it's switching. So she's going to be working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. So there's going to be some transitional time, et cetera, et cetera. What the end result is going to be, though, is that I'm going to try to take off Saturday, like actually take Saturday off, because my wife will have Saturday off. I don't do my normal day job on Saturday, so I'm going to try to take that off. So we'll see how well I can manage to have a day off. I think that'll help prevent me from getting burned out, because I kind of feel burned out. So that's my plan. I'm hoping to not work Saturdays, but that'll only work if I can actually get crap done the rest of the week. So we'll see how that goes. It is funny. Some people prefer some people prefer the Electro voice, the EV RE20. So, this is the sound you're used to. You know what? Hello, Northern Chip. This is a really good point too. If you've heard me for a while, this is the mic I've been using for, gosh, quite a long time. Ever since I switched from my little face-mounted cheapo microphone, I've been using this one. So if this is the way you're used to hearing me, I guess that could be a part of the, like, no, the other one doesn't sound quite right. Better or worse or right. It's interesting. Thank you. Oh, let's see. Dewani, I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Watch your CBT Nuggets videos of LPIC 2. Oh, cool. I haven't done LPIC 2 in a very, very long time. It's cool that I don't work for CBT Nuggets anymore, but it's cool that they still have those videos available. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad it helped. What did I do to my finger? Scott, so I don't know. It's like, it's not autofocus, so you can't tell. I'm a nervous nail biter, and that includes right up to the cuticles of my finger. And I was picking at my finger, and yeah, I'm disgusting. I really do find it disgusting, but Yeah, I was picking at my finger and it started bleeding, so I put a Band-Aid on it because I'm just gross. Anyway, I should at one point I used that nail stuff that tastes really bad and I put it on my nails constantly, and at one point I stopped chewing my nails and it didn't look like I had some horrible, I don't know, lawnmower accident every day. Maybe I should get that stuff again because I haven't found anything other than that works. Somebody's like, "Oh, put like hot sauce on your fingers," and I'm like, "We don't know each other. If you think anything hot is going to stop me from licking my fingers." Um, anyway, what do I do? Oh, hold on, what did I miss? I'm sorry. What do I do for my day job? I manage Linux servers. I manage Linux servers in like 5 different data centers around the Western U.S. Not like the entire data center I manage, but like a rack of servers in a data center in multiple locations. They work together. It's in the crypto industry. I don't do crypto myself. I'm the guy who does make sure the Linux machines do their job. And I'm looking at the dashboard that I made for my day job when you said that it's on the other screen. So yeah, I manage Linux servers, and I really do like it. It's funny. I like it best when this is going to sound terrible, but I like it best when things go wrong. I really enjoy problem solving, and as long as it's like not horribly wrong and like lose money and stuff, I really enjoy solving problems. So when something goes wrong, it's like, all right, now we can get into figuring out what's wrong. Did I arrange or see? I did. So in fact, I reshared your post. Thank you for tagging me. I didn't see that. They didn't tag me when they put that up there. And that's just so cool. I guess they're gonna play some of my videos at like on Friday or something at Ohio Linux Fest. So yeah, if you're in Ohio or in Ohio Linux, I guess it's not Ohio Linux Fest anymore, but OLF in Ohio. It's a free conference. I assume it's still free. I mean, that was one of their claims to fame, is it was a free conference, and yeah, they're gonna play some of my videos. So I can't be there, but I'll be there in 2D digital form. So that's cool. That's awesome. And again, thanks for tagging me. I wouldn't have noticed, but I did reshare the link as well on Facebook. The old guys prefer the loud one. I don't remember. Was the Shure louder? I mean, calling Lewis old. I'm okay with that. He's tough. He can take it. Oh, random guy. I want to say awesome playlist, great sources. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. So you like YouTube better than my CBT nugget stuff. Thank you. I take that as a compliment. I'm older and wiser now. Oh, so okay. So when you say, Lewis, when you say paint my nails, do you mean like a color, or do you mean like with the stuff that tastes like Satan's butthole? Because I've done both. I guess I didn't chew it when it was like painted a color either. So that just doing that might work. But I still worry I would chew on the cuticles around. Whereas that stuff that just tastes like just an angry butthole also gets on your cuticles. And so I just, anytime I accidentally, like, oh, what'd I do? Why'd I do that? So yeah, I might have to get some of that stuff. Or I could just try painting them too. I saw, Lewis, I saw you had painted them. So not mine, but you painted yours, I saw. Need a better story, like you slam your pinky in the car door. I know, I'm lame. Like, what did you do? Oh, I pulled a badger off a badger was attacking an infant in a stroller, and the mother was being eaten by a coyote. So I pulled up. I guess it didn't have to be that dark. I went too far. That was too much. Good thing for YouTubers who become famous. In fact, we don't know that's true. Although, so I don't know if Lisa left. I think she probably would lose interest. When we talk nerdy, she's a wonderful friend, but she's not a tech person. But Lisa would know it. Is this what I sound like? And anybody who might be watching who knows me in Meat Space, is this what I sound like? I think it is. I think it's what I sound like. I don't know. Maybe not. What's my dashboard made in? It's funny that you mentioned this, and I know that I pointed it out over there. It's just PHP. Do you want to see it? I mean, I don't think there's any private information in there. Let me look. Any IPs or anything? No. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. private there. So here, I'll just show you really quick. So this is the dashboard, and these are just I think these are actually iframes I did, and they refresh every so often, and they're just they're just PHP, and it pulls from an API, and that's the way we do. But the funny thing, why I said that it's funny you asked me that is, I was going to ask, does anybody have a favorite, like, I will answer in a second, Scott. Have you seen those, like, you go to, I don't know, a corporate office or something, and there's like, the TV screens, and they have like, oh, monthly revenue forecast, and oh, let me put it in the facts and figures machine, Barry. And I don't know, there's like maybe Microsoft BI, is that the thing where they just have like a bunch of information up there that constantly updates? I want to do something like that. But I want it to be just like, like my Google Calendar, but have it like automatically refresh, and then like a couple graphs, like bandwidth graphs, like here, like that's what I'm talking about. Like, so my start page when I open up a browser is gotta go back here. So like this, just like these are different things that I want to keep track of. Like this is my house bandwidth, right? Like this is monitoring the router. This is my farm. Look, can you guess where I was downloading from? So I was downloading to the house from the farm. It lines up really nicely. And then like Kermit is my little server in Austria. And then Hammer is my ARM-based server from Oracle. Get it? ARM, Hammer. Oh, me. Tiny 1, Tiny 2, these are both Oracle Cloud servers, and then this is just a Cloud VPS that I pay like $3 a month for. Anyway, but like things like this on there, along with my Google Calendar, and like maybe a to-do list, or I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Like, I would love to have an information dashboard like automatically updated, but I don't know of software that is easy to do that with. Like the weather. What's the current weather as well? Does anybody have any like suggestions for open source software to do something like that? Because I want to do that. I haven't seen anything quickly. Mason, let's see. I spent an hour this morning learning about users and groups in Linux. Oh, users and groups. Yeah. I don't know where you learned those things, but I did make a video not too long ago about users and groups, I think. I don't know. All the videos blend together, the stuff that I make. It is still free. Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Yeah. So OLF, formerly Ohio Linux Fest, is still free. So yeah, if you're in the Ohio area and you want to stop in, yeah. The black light was louder. Sure, definitely hotter. That's just a gain difference. Yeah. With color. Oh, with colored nails. Okay. Oh, I'm really behind. With colored nails. Yeah, I do. I love the problem solving aspect. In fact, I thought about starting I know I talked about this too. Y'all are my nerdy friends, so I just talked about stuff, but I really have considered starting a consulting / IT, not repair. I don't want to fix computers, but like maybe a consulting business, so that when there's local businesses in town who get taken advantage of. Yeah, I did talk about this because I was so frustrated with like some of the excuses that IT companies around here use to like scare people into not leaving them. But I like solving those problems. Like, hey, we can't get this computer to get a signal from Wi-Fi. I would love to talk about like, how you place Wi-Fi access points, what the difference is between like a router and an access point, and why don't we just run Ethernet? It would be better, and et cetera, et cetera. I like doing that kind of problem solving. I think that's why I liked working at the school so much, is every day was a different problem to solve. But yeah. Scott, I think I missed your question. Maybe. Oh no, I'm just so far behind. I'm just getting to it. The green hair is back after October 7th. October 7th is the wedding. So yeah, it is, because Lewis is right after the wedding. I'm catching up. I'm not just humming for. Paint my black. Yes. Yeah, I think I saw on Instagram. I think I saw your nails were black. So I think that's where I saw that. Either you had painted them or had an incredibly consistent hammer accident on each finger. So I assumed it was nails polish or nail polish. Tableau or Microsoft. Okay. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know what to like search for alternatives to. So Tableau, I'll have to remember to search for like Tableau alternatives or something. When I officially have a second son-in-law, I do have a son-in-law, my grandbaby's dad. So yeah, I'll have two son-in-laws. No sons. I had all daughters, but I'll have two son-in-laws, October 7th. And I think they're hyphenating their names. So she'll still have Powers in her name, which is cool. I don't know how hyphening works as the generations go on. You know, like what if two people who love each other very much both have hyphenated last names and they get married? What happens? What happens? I just don't know. So yeah, I guess we'll see. This could be the start of my information learning. Learn everything. So yeah. Grafana. Yeah, Grafana. I don't know. I feel like the thing about Grafana is you can only display Grafana stuff, right? I mean, I know that sounds dumb, but I mean, like I'm thinking I would love to have like some metrics measured, like with a Grafana dashboard. But then also I'd love to have like a little widget with the weather and, you know, a little pop-up thing if my doorbell rings downstairs. I'd love to have a pop-up and have it go ding ding with like maybe a still image of who's at the door. And I think it feels like that would be possible. It just feels like there's got to be software out there, like some of the software, like where restaurants do their menus and stuff. I don't know. I guess that's just basically a PowerPoint, but yeah, there's got to be something better. Years ago, I made my PHP for my job. I preferred Google Home as a home. Yeah, I thought that there might be a thing with widgets, and maybe there is. Maybe I just didn't want it to be a paid thing, not because I'm cheap, but because I wanted to tinker more. But I'll look. If I come up with anything, I'll spread the word. Also, why do I like Ubuntu Mate? Oh, hold on. Let's see. Use Arch or Gentoo. I stick with Ubuntu Mate. So the reason I stick with Ubuntu Mate is because I'm lazy. I like Ubuntu because it's Debian based. I just like the Debian way of doing things. I started using Ubuntu when it first came out because they actually they redid the installer. The biggest thing Ubuntu brought to the Debian world when it came out was the installer. They did a great job on it, and I just have been using it ever since. And then PPAs, private package something, whatever a PPA stands for. I really like that for, you know, adding software repositories. It was really simple. And as far as Ubuntu Mate, I just never got any sort of a love for the GNOME 3 look. Like I didn't like Unity that Ubuntu did. So I stopped using standard Ubuntu when they introduced their Unity thing, which ends up looking like GNOME 3 now. And I just don't like GNOME 3. I don't know. I just don't like the way it works for some reason. So I use Ubuntu Mate because Mate looks like GNOME 2. And that's just how. When I was using Linux on the desktop, though, I was using IceWM. So, I mean, let's be honest, Ubuntu Mate is so much newer than IceWM. And I was using Linux on the desktop like a couple months ago. So it was pretty recent. Yeah, I'm just old school. I don't know. I don't want to switch. I just don't like GNOME 3 for some reason. Oh, and as far as like, is Gentoo still around? I know, Scott, you were using Gentoo, like compiling it, but I didn't know if people still use Gentoo at all. I know people love Arch Linux. I'm not a huge Arch Linux fan. Yeah, using Debian testing on my desktops with XFCE. Yeah, I used XFCE before Mate. So remember, when Unity came out on Ubuntu, I hated Unity so much. And so then I started using Xubuntu because it had XFCE as the interface. And so Xubuntu, if you're a CBT Nuggets customer from way back, a lot of the videos that I made for Debian-based stuff was Xubuntu. That's what I installed. Ubuntu Mate wasn't out yet. Xubuntu was the closest to what felt normal to me. So I would do that. And then Mate came out, and yeah, I just started using that. You could list yourself as the second option. That's true. Yeah. We are the other guy. Okay, so Tableau is strictly Microsoft stuff. All right. Yeah, I don't know what happens. I guess people normally like cut it off or something. Like we're back to like hyphenated names getting married to other hyphenated names. I just don't know I don't know. When does the madness end? IKO4, hello. Linux guy, I believe. Grafana and Najwa. Nagios, just kidding. Had a video called Net. Oh, I'll have to look at Jay's stuff. Net data. I'll have to look that up. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking Grafana. I guess Nagios is a possibility. The only thing is I do want it to be a kiosk, right? And I think that Nagios has that. Anytime I've tried to set up a Nagios thing, I've always used, what's the big competitor? Oh man, it's a Z something? Is it Z or? Wow. What is the big okay, Nagios competitor. Zabbix, that was the one. Somebody probably already said it. Zabbix is what I had tried. I'd never set up Nagios. I had only done Zabbix, and I never really got it going to where it was useful for me. It was more of a pain in the butt to use it than to just quickly log into systems. I tend to be the guy who makes slipshot like solutions that end up being the solution forever, like my PHP dashboard for my day job, and like I would and a bunch of bash scripts that just like pulled for like different things. It would pull information and then it would print it to the screen, and rather than like compile all that into something viewable, I just used Tmux, and I would split up the window into like a whole bunch of different size and shape terminals, and then I would run the program in each one. So it was like this disgustingly horrible looking, but it worked really well, dashboard for myself. So yeah, the temporary becomes permanent. Exactly. Mate looks cool, but it's no KDE. Yeah, I never really liked KDE. I don't know why. I even like knew people who worked for KDE. It used to feel bloated. It's not the case anymore. Computers are fast enough now that it's fine. I don't know. I've never felt comfortable with KDE. So, I still do a little bit with Arduino, not a whole lot. I haven't had time to do anything recently, but I still like have a workbench over there and stuff. I want to keep playing with Arduinos. I mean, I guess the bouncing balls in the back are technically Arduino. It's using an whatever it is, 8266. But reprogramming electric bikes, that's cool. Jane Brooks just passed LPI Linux Essentials. Oh, sweet. Congratulations. Oh, I need to have like a congratulations thing. I mean, I have this. Oh, it didn't even work. I have crickets and I put them to, but it doesn't work anyway for some reason. But anyway, congrats. I need to have like one of those. If you ever see Dr. Z's, the guy who does the live streams with about Home Assistant, he has all these effects for like congrats and stuff. So congratulations. That's awesome. I'm glad you passed. Confetti. I need confetti. First desktop was KDE 1. Oh, Window Maker. Okay, so yeah, when I was in college in 1993, there was a lab of Next computers, like, the Steve Jobs Next. And because of that, when I started using Linux, I would always gravitate towards Window Maker or Afterstep or all that stuff because they're clones of the Next Step interface. Next Step? Was it Next Step? Or was that one of the... Yeah, I think it was Next Step. Anyway, so it was clones of those. And so I would always gravitate towards Window Maker and stuff because it just felt cool. And their little like icons, like they could do things, right? I mean, they could have like activities inside their square icons that also would launch something. Yeah, it was pretty cool. A little bit kludgy to get working right. And get it to look how you want it to look. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed the Windows Maker Day. In fact, when I was setting up my computer not long ago and I ended up with IceWM, I tried to get Window Maker to work, but most of the widgets and stuff are not like set up for modern things, you know? So I don't know. I had a hard time making it look useful rather than look like, 2003. So, yeah, I'm still behind. I got to catch up. Come on, catch up, Sean. Let's try Gotti. Ooh, Gotti makes... Oh, that sounds cool. I'm going to write that one down. Hold on. Move over you. Let's see. Okay. Forgot my tablet, so I'm going to type it out here. Gotti. Not gotta. Thank you for auto-correcting me, computer. CLI on web. I'll have to look at that. That sounds cool. That sounds like a video in the making there. Do I code? A random guy. So I code enough to solve problems that I have, but I am not a coder that just like creates things, if that makes sense. So let's see. What was the rest of it? If you were starting programming, which of these languages would you choose? Ooh, that's a tough question. So if you don't know programming at all, Python, great language to learn how to program, right? Just the conceptual way to make things do things. Python is generally what people recommend, and it is. It's a good language. It's simple enough that you can do stuff without like going nuts, but it's complicated enough that you can make real programs with it. So Python is a great place. And then if you want to specialize in something, I mean, you should be able to do JavaScript, right? There's so much that is done in JavaScript now. I was shocked at how much JavaScript is not just like traditional like web stuff. I mean, everything is like with Node.js and stuff. The back end and the front end is all JavaScript these days. So lots of stuff is done with JavaScript. And then if you want to do like hardcore stuff, things like Rust. I mean, Scott will talk to you about Rust. He did. I said that and he just said Rust. I did an interview with one of the guys on the Rust team whose name escapes me now. I did it on Floss Weekly, and Rust is so stinking efficient that a lot of things are being rewritten as like Rust modules for larger programs. And so, I guess Rust, if you want to be a specialized person, that's the way to go. But if you just want to learn, Python is a great way to learn how to program. I use PHP a lot because that's what I know. I don't recommend anybody like, oh, I should learn PHP. No, you probably shouldn't. But yeah, PHP and Bash, that's about all I know. And a little bit of Python. But again, I only find myself programming and learning programming when I have a problem I have to solve. Like I wrote this really elaborate dashboard that I showed you. It doesn't look elaborate, but the back end is pretty elaborate, like how it queries things and stores things in a Redis database, and it caches things from multiple locations. It error checks if the API that it pulls from is offline. It doesn't overwrite that. It saves the cached copy and it timestamps everything so I can see in the dashboard if the data is outdated. But all those things I wouldn't have learned how to do if it weren't for the need to do those things. So yeah, that was a non-answer. Sorry. Let's see. I'm still behind here, so I'm trying to catch up. I promise. I'm currently working for a 60 people size MSP. All the clients are in Windows. Get some real world Linux experience. How to get some real world Linux experience? Set up a home lab. I mean, that's Yeah, that's my big recommendation. Virtual machines and home lab if you can do it at home, even if it is just a virtualized home lab, like just yeah. I mean, when I was training for CBT Nuggets for a while, we were doing our own local virtual machines, and I had an Intel NUC, and it was surprising how well it functioned as an ESXi box. I do think I had to get some like special kernel driver hacks to get it to work on the NUC, but it did. It worked great. It was plenty powerful enough. And now I would just do Proxmox, but back in the day I was doing ESXi. So yeah, VMs and a home lab if you can. My TMUX setup could be displayed on the web. Oh, okay. And I get it. Yeah, go TTY. That makes more sense than Gotti. I get it. Ooh, VT52 and VT240 color. Nice. See, now we're just like, we're back in my day. But nonetheless, I mean, you know, yeah, I had to use VT100 to get to the next 9 computer because we used to actually just telnet in to the lab computers and use them from our dorm rooms, but we had to dial in because the dorm rooms didn't have Ethernet. You had to use your phone line in your dorm room to dial in. I had a 2400 baud modem, and then I could telnet to the next 9 machine. Next 9. Okay, it's funny because the number 9 machine is the one I always sat at, so that's the one I would telnet into. So yeah, I would telnet into that and use VT100 for the terminal emulation. So anyway. Maybe a silly question, but can KDE work with Ubuntu, or is KDE now? So yeah, so all of the flavors of Ubuntu, Xubuntu and Ubuntu Mate and Kubuntu and all those things, they're just Ubuntu with the default desktop manager installed. So you can install Ubuntu proper and then install the KDE desktop, and boom, all of a sudden now you have a KDE workstation. The only thing that, you know, apart from that initial desktop manager that they install on top of Ubuntu, is I think they do have their kernel is compiled with like the screen, whatever the like loading screen is. I don't know if that's probably configurable after the fact, but you know, that's baked in. So if you start with Ubuntu and then you install the KDE desktop, you basically have Kubuntu, but when you boot your computer, you'll see the original Ubuntu logo. I don't even know how to switch that. I'm sure it's switchable, but that's one of the things I do by default. FVWN, is that the one that used to look like Windows 95? I think so. It feel like that's what that was. Yeah, Northern Chimp is right. All those are in use today. Depends what you want to do. I knew Scott would say Rust. See, I'm just catching up now. Python. Lewis says Python. It's great. I mean, it's a great all-purpose programming language. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, pardon me. Oh, Phil M. Gabe. Hello. It's good to see you here. Let's see. Mason, basic question. If you were setting up a Linux server, I'll pop it up on the screen because I'm so far behind it's fallen away. Basic question. If you were setting up a Linux server and say it was just sharing files for people, where would you store the files? For example, if you had an account, sales, service, folders. Okay, so like where in the file system, or like where on what hardware? What exactly do you mean here? And I'm gonna have to scroll way down to see the answer. So I'll oh, you clarified in the next line here. Hold on. Would it be with the user's profile and our directory in the root, or is there a place? Yeah, so there's for shared folders. I don't remember if there's a best practice place or not. I always put them in this. I always put mounted file systems in the MNT folder, which is not what is the standard. Like they're supposed to be like, I think in the media folder or something. And MNT is for some specific thing. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the MNT folder was supposed to be for originally, but I put everything I mount in there. But I don't think there's a standard place for like shared directories. I don't know. I don't think there is. You could do like home share. You could make a folder inside the home directory called share. Yeah, I don't think there's a standard. I could be wrong though. If anybody knows a question or the standard best practice, not even best practice, like standard practice for like where to put a shared folder, let me know. Because yeah, I don't know that. Let's see. Use an old, yeah, this again, yeah, that's definitely the case. Use an old computer for Proxmox or something, or if you don't have an extra computer, just install like VirtualBox on whatever your desktop or laptop is, and you can get some VMs going. That's really awesome. Oh, Caesar, hello. I didn't see you pop in there. I fixed an error with my Monero and network printer. Nice. Man, printers, I'll tell you what. Ready for rant time with Sean about printers? So, I mean, printers suck, right? That's just true. Printers just suck. I've had every kind of printer, I think. You know, we had inkjet printers when that was pretty much, I mean, we had dot matrix printers, but now I'm dating myself. But I mean, after that, actually, dot matrix are about the most reliable when it comes to just working in the ink thing. But anyway, like old inkjets, you know, were like you'd run out of one and it wouldn't print, and like the cartridges were all like super expensive. And then we went to well, actually, after that, I went to a hard wax printer. Have you ever seen those? What are they called? The Xerox had them. I think it was a Xerox printer, and it was like these hard wax chunks that you put in, and it would melt it, and it would apply the wax like ink, and it was like this nice glossy look. It was really, really slick. That was our favorite printer for a long time, but then it started not working well, and there'd be a lot of waste and stuff. And then we went to laser printers. We had black and white laser for a long time, multiple color laser printers. They were pretty nice. But once the fuser and the drum wear out, even when you replace the drum, they seem to just get bad after a while, right? They just like, you get like the repeating ghost images or streaks, no matter how many parts you replace and maintain. And now, we've gotten back to where inkjet printers are popular again, but they have these huge ink tanks where you just get tanks of ink. Like you can see like the liquid ink, like just pop a cartridge in, and they use the same heads, and you just replace the ink tanks. And they're like, brother is what we have downstairs. And it's like tank vestment or ink. I don't know. But anyway, that was really cool. And we bought the same, came with a ink tank, and it lasted like a year, and it really truly did. The problem now that we're having, and I don't know how to solve this problem. If you don't print something for like 2 days, like just 2 days, if you don't print something for 2 days, it doesn't print out, and you have to clean the heads. And I don't know if that is a problem with like the ink heads wearing out. I don't think it's a replaceable part. But we went from a year of, oh my gosh, inkjet printers are finally good again. Not that they were ever good, but they're actually good for the first time. And now anytime I want to print something, I have to go downstairs and go through just run a cleaning cycle, clean it all out. And I don't care about the ink waste because, again, there's so much ink and it's affordable to replace them. But the problem is, if I want to print something, I can't print it because it comes out all streaky and I got to clean it out. So anyway, I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's really frustrating. When dual booting Linux and Windows, is possible drivers to interfere or dysfunction? When dual booting, so no, not usually. So when you dual boot, generally you have two different file systems completely, right? And it's only the bootloader that, like, when you first start it up, it says, okay, which file system are we going to use? And so then if you dual boot, then you have all of the drivers in your like Linux setup, and they do all of their own thing. If you reboot into Windows, it uses all of the Windows stuff, and they usually don't do anything to the hardware itself that is going to cause like an issue going from one to another. Usually, I mean, there's probably, maybe hardware will, like if you overclock it, maybe, and it stays overclocked. I still think that's a software thing though. Generally it's safe, and one doesn't bother the other, but I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule. So yeah, another non-answer, except usually it's fine. I will say that usually it's fine. Let's see. I think task cell hasn't that been deprecated? Because I tried to use that when I was setting up Debian, and I think they told me it was deprecated. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, it still makes sense to me. But let's see where. Oh, I missed something here. Where is the file system? Probably is that the. Oh, where in the file system? Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm just caught up to the follow-up answer when I asked the question there. Yeah, I put it in MNT, but that's, I'm sure, not the proper place to do it. As you're doing home labs, take notes, document. Yeah, this is good advice too. Document your journey, including mistakes and how to correct them, publish in a blog. Yeah, that's really good, especially if you can copy and paste like specific errors, because I mean, think about it. When you're having a problem, you search for that specific error. And if you can help somebody else out by posting it, that's incredible. That's why you find it a lot of times in forums, because somebody says, oh my gosh, this is happening. Can anybody help? And somebody else will be like, oh yeah, that's what this means. So yeah, either in a blog or go to a forum on that thing. Like if you ask somebody for help and they give you help, that's awesome. So when you ask for help, be sure to like quote specific things too. Yeah, that's I mean, honestly, it's a good way to contribute to the open source world too, is just to participate in posting when you have problems and solutions. Dun, dun, dun. Partition, yeah, different partition. A lot of times, and I guess this is the reason that it hasn't really come up for me. Generally, if there's a shared folder, it's from a different server, right? So you generally mount, like there'll be a server that just doesn't have necessarily home users and stuff. And so you'll share from a central server location instead of on a, or maybe that's what you're talking about, how to set that up. And even then, I always just do MNT. But yeah, you could create it anywhere you want. Could use Trillium to take notes. Yeah, that's true. Vert Manager. Vert Manager, yeah. I mean, it's a, yeah. So if you use Vert Manager, it is the front end for, what is for KVM and also the EMU thing, QEMU, KVM. Vert Manager is a really decent GUI front end for that. So that's nice. And you can supposedly like control a remote one, but I've never been able to do that. Like have a remote Linux box, headless box, and then use your local Vert Manager to control the remote one over SSH. But I've never really, I didn't work hard, but I know that you can connect to a remote KVM server, which is the standard Linux virtualization, kernel virtualization module. So anyway, yeah, Brother laser printers are great, but again, they start to get smeary. Notebooks, pen and paper. Oh yeah, I got my new Supernote, which I'm not using as much as I want, but I'm still using it. Still awesome. Supernote, love it. I don't know. So that's the thing. I don't understand the deal with. I had this tank that said, "Oh, the ink will last a year," and it did, and we printed a lot of color. So I mean, that part was cool. But now, after a year, it's starting to get weird and like clogged, even though I use the same brand ink and stuff. And we have a Brother printer, inkjet printer. So when you turn, okay, now this is interesting. Mason, when you turn the printer on and off, does that keep the heads clean, do you think? Does it move it around? Because now I mean, that's something I could automate. And I could do a cron job and like have it do something maybe remotely. I have to think about that one. The fourth ties for the ink lords, yeah. Some hardware has non-volatile memory. Yeah, that is true. And that's what I was thinking, like some things might survive a reboot, but generally if you dual boot, you really do get like a clean set of hardware. So usually it doesn't hurt anything if you dual boot from one to another, unless you screw up the boot sector stuff and you can't boot to the other one anymore. Then it's a scary situation. Usually it's fine. Usually you can rescue it, but it's scary if you do that, where all of a sudden like, oh, I can't boot back into Windows. That's where Aunt Martha's birthday list is, or whatever, Usually you can fix that though. Yeah. So Trillium does have, and it uses, it's a Canvas note type, but they're just integrating another another open source package. What is the package? Because I have the open source package set up on its own. I don't remember what I called it though, so I can't even show you. But yeah, they do, and they just integrate the open source bits there so that you have like a scratch pad. It's kind of cool. It is. It's kind of cool, but yeah, it's not quite. You have to have a device where you can draw on. So like, you have to have a Wacom tablet to make that really cool. 8 minutes remaining. Oh man, this one went quick. Printer. Mason, you're already gone, I'm sure, because I'm just seeing this now. See you all. Jeremy Holland, my new favorite home lab has been Ubuntu running EVE-NG. Oh yeah. Nested VMs. Yes, that's very cool. Now that's not the one that Tom Lawrence uses. Tom Lawrence uses the Zen one, I think. He really likes the Zen one. I haven't ever used EVE-NG. But that's cool. Yeah, there are so many options. It's really nice that there are a bunch of options out there. Let's see. Pass through USB Wi-Fi card. Oh yeah, and passing through hardware is cool too. You can supposedly do that with most virtualization systems, right? Like a real common one is to pass a GPU through to something that needs GPU acceleration. I don't know if you can do that to two different VMs. I think we talked about this last week even. I don't know if you can, if you can share a GPU as a pass-through hardware to two different VMs. I don't think so. I think you can only, you literally pass the hardware through, so then it's being used by that VM. Let's see. Yes, Excalibur. That's what it. Yes. That's the program. This is the open source program, Excalibur. I think it's Excalibur. That is like a canvas to draw on. I used it for a little while. It's hard to keep things organized, and so that's what's cool about Trillium integrating it is it just becomes a Trillium note. And I'm not sure. So the note itself, it's cool how Excalibur works because it's just that you make a vector graphic. As you're drawing, you're just making a vector graphic. And so then the note itself is the vector specifications, like line from this to this, this long to this long to this long to this long or whatever. And so you're storing all that text about the vectors in the note, and then it renders that using the software. So it's not like you lose the actual drawing. The drawing, as you draw it, is creating a vector image that is stored as text as the note. So it's pretty cool how they have it set up. And then because it's a note in Trillium, and Trillium is designed to keep track of notes, it's just there and it's searchable and stuff. I mean, by title. So yeah, it is a really cool feature that they integrated into Trillium. I wish they had more apps and not and stuff, because that would be really cool. And I caught up. Look at that. I caught up with 2 minutes to spare. If you're going to draw the vectors, use logo. Well, that's the thing though. You don't export it as like a vector graphic or anything. You're just drawing, but the way that it keeps track of what you're drawing, the Excalibur program, it keeps track of your canvas as a big elaborate vector definition. So rather than trying to store graphic data, it's just storing vectors and coordinates and all the stuff that creates that image, which is just a cool way to store a graphic using non-graphical methods, right? It's completely vector based. And so then when you open it back up, you have your things and you can move it around if you need to. And yeah, it's just cool. Excalibur is cool. And if you pay for their and use their stuff, like you have other features, I think like libraries and stuff, but you can host it on your own. I did host mine on my own too. It's like logo behind the scenes. You are the turtle. Yes, exactly. So, I don't know. Did we accomplish anything today? I don't know. It was fun. I always enjoy talking. You helped me play with my other microphone and camera. So, thanks for that. Maybe I'll listen back, and if I had them both at the same gain, it might be easier to to determine which one sounds better. I think they just sound a little different. This one, the claim to fame, this I'll end. I know we're out of time, but the claim to fame with the EV20 is that it has the, what do they call it? I think it's written on the side. Maybe not. No, it just says a dynamic cardioid microphone. Oh, there it is. Variable D. They just say that most microphones, when you get close like this, you get like the voice of God effect going on. And that's kind of a cool effect to be able to do, where you have like, this is the voice of God. But I don't know. I liked that I wouldn't have to be as careful about my booming voice. My low end can get kind of boomy, and this mic I think picked it up better. Anyway, it was fun. Thanks for playing along, everybody. Yeah, the proximity effect, and they call their solution to that variable D, which sounds like Tenacious D cover band, but nonetheless. On that note, learn everything, do what you love, and most importantly, be kind, as you all were today. And I'll try to have cool things happening in the future, especially after the wedding's over. Gotta get the wedding over. When my hair is green, the trap is clean or something. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to end on that. Thanks for tuning in.